Single-use plastic bags are no longer allowed in many states in the country, so we use these reusable bags that are also the perfect size for picking up comics from a flea market. Up next on this video from Bronzeville Comics. Hey there, comic book community. This is Jim from Bronzeville Comics coming to you with another video. We're going to have a flea market / mail haul on this video. See what I picked up today. But before we get started, please like, comment, subscribe. That all helps the algorithm for the channel. And also follow us on our other socials. Instagram at Bronzeville_comics, on Whatnot at Bronzeville_comics. We do sales every Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern. And if you haven't yet signed up for Whatnot, but you use the link in the description on this video, you can get $10 off your first purchase. And also, there's a link in the description to my eBay store, and we have some, I put more unique items up there. So I'm going to get started with some mail that came in this week. These were Whatnot wins, and I've been just kind of perusing Whatnot. Whatnot is, it can be pretty hit or miss. And, you know, sometimes you have to be patient and sitting in a show and find something you want. And you really have to kind of train yourself to not get overexcited and bid too high for an issue. Because it's very easy to do that because you don't have the time to research. Like, and also condition is rather important. Condition was clear in this because it is a slab. It's a graded book, and it is a modern book. I'm just going to take this out and show you what we got here. So let's take out the invoice from the seller. And this is a book. I have a lot of these that will be going out to CGC, but it's Hawkeye #1 in a 9.8. Of course, this book was really hot leading up to the Hawkeye TV series, but Kate Bishop is coming back, and she's probably going to be a major player in the MCU going forward for the next 10 years. Whether or not they do a quote-unquote young Avengers team or something that resembles the Young Avengers, Kate Bishop, Haley Steinfeld really knocked it out of the park in that role. Kate Bishop is going to be around for a while. I got this for, I think, $64 in a Whatnot auction, so I thought it was just a really great deal, and I couldn't pass it up. The other Whatnot win that I have here, these were multiple books that I got from Erod, part of his Attack on Tuesday sales. He goes Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, I believe. And then Very Gary goes at 8:30, Davis Ryder at 10. And of course, I should mention that if you are in anywhere in the area on September 17th, King Con 3 is coming. I'll be selling there. Erod, Very Gary, Street Side Anthony, 3 Men in the Basement will be there. Pressable Defects. So many of the vendors in the tri-state area who we often see. And it's just going to be a great show. So that is on Saturday, September 17th in Iselin, New Jersey. So if you're in the area, if you can get there, come check it out. It's nothing but comic books. And it's really it's really for the community, by the community. And the idea is to get people the opportunity to get good books. There are deals to be found. So anyway, Erod had I popped into his sale, and there were a couple of items that I thought were books that I wanted, were the right price, and just unwrap this. Very well packaged. This close to the books, I don't want to use the box cutter. Actually, I might have to. I can use it right here. There, we can use it right. There's a cord in between there. Oh, that's a great sound to hear, right? Not going to be reusing that. Okay. There we go. So, I picked up a couple items from him. He put these two books up at the same time. Captain Britain and MI13, numbers 4 and 5. 5 is the first time that Blade joins the team. The Black Knight is a member of the team. We may see this play out in the MCU. So I thought that was a good spec book to pick up. And the other book I picked up is another spec book. That is X-Men 164. This is where Carol Danvers becomes the character known as Binary. Her powers change. Newsstand edition. And that looks to be a pretty sharp copy. So we're going to put those as speculation books off to the side. Those are what came in the mail this week. And let's take a look. So I went today to the Stormville Flea Market, which they come... It runs about once a month from spring through fall. I think October is probably the last time for the year. And it's a pretty big flea market. They also do, and the next date is the date of King Con, so obviously I won't be there. They also do like an ultimate yard sale, which has less vendors than just individuals who, rather than doing a garage sale in their driveway, bring their stuff here to get more people walking through. So I got there really early. There was a listing on Craigslist for somebody that said they had bought an entire house, 70 years of stuff in the house, military memorabilia, sports cards, I think coins, comic books. And they listed the spot at the flea market where they were going to be. They never showed up. They were never there. So I got there real early because, I wanted to see if they had good stuff at good prices. So I ended up looping around and going to a few vendors. I was just kind of waiting to see if they would arrive and set up so I could be the first one there. They never set up. So I went around, and some of the vendors had prices that were ridiculous. It almost just seemed as though they used the Mile High website to set their prices. And some of the prices were aspirational, especially in light of the condition of the books that they had. So there were some vendors, I looked through their books and just didn't come up with anything, even though they had some good books. There was one vendor, and I've seen that vendor there before. I picked a few books out like last year, like Amazing Spider-Man books that I thought the condition was good enough to justify the price. Here I couldn't find anything. And there were some great books there. There was a Fantastic 419. There was a Silver Surfer number 4, but the first one was like a 115. The Silver Surfer 4 was a nice looking front, but it was missing the back cover. So, and the prices didn't coincide with those conditions. So I went around eventually. There was one vendor had a couple of long boxes, had some pretty, a couple bucks a piece. I picked up this Crisis on Infinite Earths, number 1. Always a great book to pick up. And this is an interesting book I picked up. Marvel Age number 103, which does a big preview of the that Wonder Man series that has been hot recently because we believe that show is coming to Disney+. Another vendor, is this somebody different? Yeah, this they had some interesting stuff. Cut a deal here. I picked up a Clive Barker Ecto Kid number 1. This is a book that I went through. Is that a newsstand? Indeed. This is a newsstand edition, which is going to be fairly rare. It's not even listed on cover price as a variant. This is a book, it made one of my honorable mentions for a Marvel 1990s list because it has had a $100 sale and a 9.8. I think that was last October. Pick this up, Blade Runner number 1. This is a pretty sharp copy, and these movie adaptations have been pretty hot lately. And then I picked this up, Sailor Moon number 35, and that's the final issue of the series. This is a pretty hard to find series, and it does have its very passionate collectors. Then I spent a good deal of my time and my money with Card Comics. And they had a lot of books. I've dealt with them before. They have good books. Their prices are fair, and their condition is pretty solid. So I picked up, I thought I got some great deals. Adventure Comics 340. This is The Death of Triplicate Girl. And then one of the other vendors, I believe they actually had this book for $75. Card Comics had it for $5. And I don't remember why exactly I picked up this issue. Just like that cover. Picked up a couple of FFs from that era that had Doctor Doom covers. These are pretty nice shape. These are actually in better shape than the other vendor. He had a half off, so they're only $37.50. Marvel 2-in-1 number 2 with Submariner. Thought that was worth it. A Spider-Verse number 1. And then we heavy on She-Hulk books. I'll probably use these as giveaways. She-Hulk and Star Fox. This very indicative of what we're seeing play out in the Disney Plus series. I also picked up this. This is an interesting book. Marvel Spotlight 27. This was after Submariner's series was canceled. The issue after this is Moon Knight. So the Marvel Spotlight series is a pretty interesting book. This John Byrne cover, high-grade copy. Another She-Hulk book from the Savage run. The Amalgam Legends of the Dark Claw. The 2 Wolverine Batman mashups are the best books to get there. This I got for my daughter, Stranger Things number 1. She's a huge fan of the series, so I'm going to let her have this one. That should be fun. This is the second print of Incredible Hulk 377, the first Professor Hulk. X-Men 5, first full appearance of Omega Red. Wind number 1, written by James Tynion. Always good to pick up his stuff. The hottest writer in comics today, I would say. And he had, I think, had an interview where he kind of hinted at meetings that we may see this property developed. A good spec book. Itchy and Scratchy 1, these 90s, and I got a couple more like that. These 90s kind of humor cartoon books. The number 1 issues are pretty well sought after, especially in high grade, because it's harder to find them there. Hercules, this is his second miniseries, and we know we saw him. I can't pass these Alex Ross covers up on the JSA series. Shazam. Might do that as a giveaway when the movie comes out. Maximum Carnage 10, Web of Spider-Man, Frank Miller Daredevil 179, good book. Sandman Universe Death, The High Cost of Living, number 1. This is an interesting book. Marvel 2-in-1, number 61. It's the first appearance of her, who is kind of the female counterpart to Adam Warlock, who we know we're going to see in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And the character who her eventually, evolves into is the character who I believe it's the character who in the post-credits sequence says, I shall name him Adam. So this is a little spec book. This probably post-hype spec, but I just wanted that. Clandestine number 1, cool cover. Superman Son of Kal-El number 1. This was a hot new book. Just threw that in. Another She-Hulk book. Sensational. This anniversary issue with the foil cover. Sandman Special number 1. Glow-in-the-dark cover. Third one ever. A 1972 Lois Lane book. I think this could be an upgrade over the one I have in my PC. That'll go in my 72 pile. Another Wolverine 17 with the John Byrne cover. Price was right for Shogun Warriors number 1. A Marvel 70s TV tie-in. Legends number 1. First appearance of Amanda Waller. I saw another vendor, $40 for this book. Crazy. Another 1972 book, Weird Worlds number 1. I think this is 72. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. More She-Hulk. And I'm trying to finish out the Ultimate Fallout series, number 5. And number 1. And number 2. So I just need 3 and 6. I have that 4 issue that has something going on with it. And the last book I picked up, Web of Spider-Man. number 100, first appearance of the Spider Armor. So, a lot of good books there. And, again, the condition is generally really good, especially for what you see at a flea market. So, a lot of this stuff is potentially submittable to CGC. We'll just have to take a closer look and see if it's worth it. Another vendor, I just picked up a couple of books. I thought I picked up something else from them. Maybe, whatever. This Avengers #1 and Punisher Warzone #1. A couple bucks each. Then there is a vendor, and I've dealt with him before, who he has a ton of Silver Age, and his books are priced fairly. So you need to find either the books that you really want or the books that kind of have increased in value since he priced them. And I picked up 2 copies, actually, of this. 1, 2. Adventure Comics 293. This is the first appearance of the Legion of Super Pets. Also, another adventure, 352, the first appearance of the Fatal Five. 271, Origin of Lex Luthor. This was still when Superboy was the main draw in the Adventure Comics title. And then just a number of others just that I don't think I have. 322, 289, 277, and then I picked up this Superboy, this is the first time for those of you that are Silver Age fans, that Lana Lang becomes the Insect Queen, where she can take on the abilities of any bug, and she does eventually become a reserve member of the Legion of Superheroes. So, you got Super Baby boxing guys on the cover. It was the 60s. I also like this book, and I think I have this, but this could be an upgrade. Adam 36, first meeting of the Silver and Golden Age Adams. Justice League of America 12, first appearance of Dr. Light. And then I picked up, it was cheap, I picked up this low-grade copy of The Spine's a Mess, of Batman number 140. So that was from another vendor. Then there's somebody else. They had a few decent books. Infamous Iron Man #1, first appearance of Tony Stark as AI. This is the start of a Hellboy series. And then the two different versions of Dark Horse Presents 36 with, I'm sorry, not that one, with Aliens vs. Predator, which is something we could see rebooted soon with the success of the Predator Prey movie. There we go. And then I talked about those humor books from the 90s, and Ren and Stimpy is one of those. This is not in the poly bag, and also it has the barcode. I think this might be a newsstand, another kind of under-the-radar variant, if you will, for a book of that era. Now, the next vendor, I picked up a couple of interesting books. I picked up another copy of Sandman Special #1. I picked up Detective Comics 608, the first appearance of Anarchy. And then I picked up 2 copies of this. Captain N, Game Master #1. They have a little bit of dirt. Hopefully that'll clean up. They're the lesser known, because those games are not particularly popular, I guess, or haven't been perpetually popular. The Empty Box. Those are not quite as popular as the Super Mario #1. And then the last vendor that I bought from, I did go to one more vendor, but that was the one that had like the poor condition, mostly Silver Age books that were overpriced. Amazing Spider-Man 400, The Death of Aunt May. Another copy of the second Hercules. I picked up, this was like $1. A Scar, Son of Hulk. Spec? I don't know, #4. And Gamora #1. We know that the story's going to kind of revolve around her, supposedly in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and that is her first solo title. So, I went to the flea market, and then it was Saturday, so I went to Streetside Anthony's, and he was having a 50% off deal, so I picked up a nice little stack of comics from him. And he gave me, because I had mentioned in one of my videos, I guess earlier in the year, when I was doing the Marvel 90s videos, I didn't even realize that there was a Camp Candy comic or even a cartoon series, and I was a big fan of John Candy, but I wasn't watching cartoons in the 90s, really. So anytime he sees a Camp Candy, he puts it aside for me. It's kind of funny. I picked up Madame Xanadu #1. I have several copies of this pre-Discovery merger. There was talking about Madame Xanadu series, talking Justice League Dark. Interesting character that I've kind of been speculating on. I picked this up because I haven't seen this too much, but it is Action Comics 595, the first appearance of Silver Banshee, one of the more interesting modern supervillains. This may look familiar. I got it from Erod and whatnot. Captain Britain and the MI-13 #5. Blade joins the team. This may look familiar. Gamora #1. First issue of her first ongoing series. Justice League 30. This has a cameo of Jessica Cruz. Her first full appearance is the next issue in 31. A lower part of mid-grade, but Captain America and the Falcon 168. The first appearance of Helmut Zemo. Amazing Spider-Man 294. This beautiful Mike Zeck cover, part of the Kraven's Last Hunt storyline. This was a book that was all over hot lists a few months ago, and this is, I guess, post-hype spec. Grendel #1, the first female Grendel. Another book that was all over hot lists just a little while ago. Spectacular Spider-Man 100. I guess this is the third appearance of Spot, like the third of the three-part series. This was a book that was hot about a year ago, and this is spec for the Marvels movie. It's Mighty Avengers #1. This is the first time that Monica Rambeau takes on the identity of Photon, I believe it is. And then this is the last book I picked up. This is a book I've been looking for. It is lower grade, but also kind of a speculation book and kind of a cool book with a great Gil Kane cover. It's Iron Man 54, the first appearance of Moondragon. In here, she goes by the moniker Madam McEvil. And then in, I forget the exact issue of Daredevil, she becomes Moondragon, has her origin. She's the daughter of Drax, and she's been a member of the Avengers, the Guardians of the Galaxy. So, nothing confirmed about anybody that will be playing that character, but there is some speculation there that we could see Moondragon at some point in the MCU. And that's a pretty decent key to have anyway. Again, lower grade, but, a pretty nice book. Happy to have that in the collection right now. So that's my haul for today. It was a busy Saturday morning. Let me know in the comments below what you think about the books I picked up. Which books interest you the most? What have you picked up recently? And in the meantime, you can check out a couple of my other recent videos here. And this is Jim saying until next time, enjoy your comics.